The old way of hitting a greenside bunker shot was to open everything up, open your stance up, open the club, and hit a cut.
Yeah.
The new way, the short game chef I worked with down in Arizona, and a couple of these other like modern golf instructors, is you actually want to hit a draw out of the bunker. You want to put the ball in the middle of your stance, stand square, open the club up as much as humanly possible, and literally hit a draw, but try to hit the ball as high as you possibly can. So the old way when I grew up playing and learned was like, yeah, you hit a big open flop cut out of the bunker. But the new way of doing it, and if you watch these guys on tour or the LPGA, like watch it this week at the whatever one you're watching, when they're doing it, they're hitting like controlled baby draws out of the green size bunker.
What's going on, everybody? This is J.R. Smith, 1/3 of the Par 3 podcast. We are here at Blue Wire Studios in Las Vegas. These are my co-hosts, Ben Baller, Stephen Malbon. What's going on, guys? How y'all been?
Another beautiful day in paradise.
Love it.
Miss you guys.
Miss you too, man. What's going on, Ben?
I'm just chilling, man. I'm just dealing with some family issues with a flat tire, and my kids missed golf today, so they're upset about missing golf, which is funny because I'm glad they're upset about missing golf.
100%. I would have been upset too. So we got two beautiful golf bags next to us, and I think we're going to dive into equipment today. Is that cool with y'all?
Let's do it. What's in the bag, man?
What's in the bag? Your bag is to my right, so let's talk about your bag. What kind of driver you hit?
So I did some switches. That's just in the last week. I got rid of the Stealth 2 and went back to the Stealth 1, the all black joint. And I feel like I'm hitting it better. You know what I'm saying? Got the super stiff shaft. And per JR's advice, I went back to my Stealth irons. They made a limited edition black joints. And I changed shafts. I went to a standard instead of a stiff, and I was like, look, it's only 25 grams difference. And I feel like the club head speed is even better now because I go with the stiff, heavier shaft. So I'm hitting it better. I got rid of my high toes. I'm playing with the MG3 Wash Lord Edition wedges. Got rid of my 4-iron, hybrid, 3-wood, 5-wood. Got my Scotty Cameron Circle T putter. And right now, this is my favorite. This is the current setup that's actually helped me,
These the gamers.
Yeah, this is what really is really working. And I think my head got a little big after winning the Farmers Prom, and I thought I was the man. And so I went to the blades, and I thought that that was going to be the answer to all my problems. And I had a couple good rounds, and I think that it happened to be a coincidence. And then I had a couple bad rounds, and I think I got scared, and I just think I would rather be with something more forgiving because the misses were weird. I did have a weird miss where the ball went about 2 feet high in the air, and it was a 147-yard par 3, and the ball went 145 yards, 2 feet high the whole way. It just rolled. And I was like, yeah, I can't play like this no more, bro. I can't. It just felt right.
You got rid of the 4-iron and put a hybrid in your bag.
Yeah, I got rid of the 4-iron and replaced it with the 4 hybrid, and then I actually might go to a 3 hybrid, get rid of my 3-iron, because now my 5-wood is going further than it's ever gone. So I think that the 5-wood kind of closes that gap better. But I have the 3-wood because I'm scared of hitting the driver OB. So at least I know I can get 235 yards out of the 3-wood and, maybe 240 on a good day or 250, 245 off the tee, and I can hit it straighter. But, Rom had said something when I brought the 3-wood out. I didn't bring my driver to the Farmers, and he's like, hey, man, technically the way you're swinging your 3-wood, when you swing it good, it's the same thing as swinging your damn driver. You're just like not thinking about that. You're just swinging harder. You're doing different things. But when you swing your 3-wood better, when you're swinging a 3-wood's good, that's all you got to do. You're mentally thinking about something else. Because as far as the way your actual swing. So I don't know, man. I'm all confused right now, really, with it. But the driver, some days it works and sometimes it doesn't. Right now, I'm trying to figure it out. But this, for some reason, even though this doesn't have forgiveness, the Stealth 1, for some reason, the Stealth 1 is doing me better than the Stealth 2 is.
I still play the Stealth 1.
Yeah.
I got the Stealth 2, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? I hit the Stealth 1 really well, so
You have a Stealth 2 and you don't use it?
No. Yeah.
Okay, so then, yeah.
Yeah, I just put the Stealth 2 back in my bag, and I was hitting, I stopped hitting the original Stealth and went back to the M2, or not the Sim 2. And
I love the Sim 2, man.
I loved it. I still love the 3-wood. I go back and forth with the 3-wood. But I don't know, like the new drivers, there's something about them that it's just not as forgiveness.
So I'm holding JR. He has 256-degree wedges here.
He has 2?
One's brand new and one's damn near brand new. The one that's damn near brand new is a 56 LB.08 degree.
Low bounce.
It's a milled grind 3.
Tiger Woods edition.
No, that's the MG3, the regular one.
Yeah, and then that wasn't right for him for one reason or another. So now he has another one, and this one's more stock. So he's got the medium grip on it versus this caveman fucking grip that he has on his gamer. Then he comes with this little light shit, and I notice. So what? It's an inch longer than stock. Your clubs,
an inch longer,
and the shave of this second one. So then the second wedge he just got, and I'm trying to get him to give it to me, but it's not working because I can play this little stock shit. 56 degree, no LB.08 degree is also a milled grind 3, but this is the Tiger Wood 12 degree special. So you went from an 8 degree bounce to a 12 degree bounce. And like I've told you guys, I'm not that techie, so this is all, I really don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, but this man obviously does, having 6 wedges in his bag right now, 6.
Well, for me, mainly, when I go to play a East Coast, Northeast, because I was in Jersey recently, I go to the lower bounce. But when I come to desert golf and I play more pan, I feel like I need to use the bounce more. So I go to a higher bounce. And again, to his credit, the higher bounce does help me better out of the bunkers. And I'm a terrible bunker player. So if I could just get it out somewhere on the flat surface, I'm saving myself so many strokes.
Let me ask you this. Is it worse that you're a terrible bunker player, or is it worse that you keep hitting it in the bunker?
I feel like it's worse that I'm a terrible bunker player because you got to be able to have your misses and know. Like, a lot of the times my misses is I know that if I hit it, I have a natural draw. So if the bunker's right, I'm aiming either dead straight at the pin or maybe a foot right of it. But sometimes it'll, of course, I think I can control it and I might cut it a little bit, or it might just roll off the green into the bunker and I still just getting it out and getting it up and down is a struggle.
So are you okay with fairway bunkers?
I'm great with fairway bunkers. I can pick it clean and
no problem. But the green bunker gives you a harder time.
It gives me a harder time because for me, for one, I don't practice it enough, but I have a hard time of picking it clean or hitting it fat. And then in between that, I'll either decel or increase my swing speed so much that I'll either scull it out or just fly. Yeah.
Are you trying to hit a cut or a draw out of the greenside bunker? Cut. So that's the old way. The old way of hitting a greenside bunker shot was to open everything up, open your stance up, open the club, and hit a cut.
Yeah.
The new way, the short game chef I worked with down in Arizona, and a couple of these other like modern golf instructors, is you actually want to hit a draw out of the bunker. You want to put the ball in the middle of your stance, stand square, open the club up as much as humanly possible, and literally hit a draw, but try to hit the ball as high as you possibly can. So the old way when I grew up playing and learned was like, yeah, you hit a big open flop cut out of the bunker. But the new way of doing it, and if you watch these guys on tour or the LPGA, like watch it this week at the whatever one you're watching, when they're doing it, they're hitting like controlled baby draws out of the green size bunker. Because then you can expect the ball to hit and release forward to the hole rather than that big slicey, choppy shit where it'll hit and spin right and go off.
You're still hitting it though, like a few inches before the ball, right? Hitting the sand.
But you're trying to hit a draw versus a slice.
Right.
So that's just the whole, if you want to get your head around it, there's this guy, the short game chef on Instagram, and I'm sure there's videos on there where he's showing it, but he gave me and Malto a short game lesson. And he actually helped me greatly with the bunker and that thought process. So now it's like hit high draws out of the green side bunker. At least in your brain, you'll have a different thought process. And if you're already struggling with the slice out of it, in golf, from going from hating a shot to loving a shot, it's just one little tweak.
100%.
Now you might just be wanting to go practice.
Literally just a tweak.
Bunks.
What's that leads me into the next one. Like, what are you guys working on right now? What part of the game? What's like your main vocal point, should I say?
I think right now, I'm having my hardest time with the long irons.
Well, that's the hardest. Those are the hardest ones to hit. So it's logical if this is your first year golfing, and that's going to be the hardest ones for you to hit. And I think my advice to you, since I'm like you two advice today, because I don't have a set of clubs, so I'm figuring I'm just getting in where I fit in. Like I can't talk about my clubs, so I can talk about y'all's
every
swings.
single club you got.
Yeah, I could
the
go
spec
through it.
and everything.
Swing your 4-iron or your 5-iron the exact same you would like an 80% wedge, and let the club do the job. So it's like what you said about Rom said, why are you hitting your driver? Like people are like, I can't hit my driver, I can hit my 3-wood. It's like it's the same fucking thing.
That's what he said though.
It's the same thing. Hitting a 7-iron or a 4-iron, it's like if you don't overswing, you keep proper tempo.
Keep your balance.
Yeah.
Balance is fine.
The club is going to work.
There.
What you been working on? Or have you been working on?
I've been working on, I think just mainly like chipping and pitching still. Just am in love with chipping and pitching and putting and that part of it. Like I've gotten very, very confident with driving the ball and, striking irons really well and hitting the ball really, really well. And I almost now look forward to missing greens, where before I would be fucking horrified if I missed a green because I knew I couldn't get up and down. Where now if I miss a green, I'm like, I might get a chance. Just chip one in. Yeah. And like we were saying with Gigi, like short games where you get to show off, hitting like full swing flops over bunkers to like, downhill pins on downhill greens.
It's like that thing stop.
Anybody can hit a 7-iron off a tee on a par 3 in the middle of the green. Like amateurs, no problem can do that, right? But it's like when you get in a real gnarly fucking spot and you get up and down.
Downhill green, goddamn.
Well, that means it's like I said, I heard that guy, he said to go from being able to shoot mid-70s to mid-60s, the only way you can really do it is by mastering like 3 or 5 shots per 5-yard, 10-yard, 15-yard, 30-yard joints. So you got to be able to hit a 10-yard high fade, a 10-yard low draw, a 10-yard, hit the ball and stop. So the ball has a lot of spin and it'll bounce twice and then stop.
Yeah.
So like that imagination and that whole thing, like I can go chip and putt in the back of the range, the short game area. And it's so difficult, and the difference between perfection and, disaster is such a thin line that it's like, I could do it all day long just because it's like, it's fucking hard. It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm working on right now the most. And that's why I keep going back and forth with my wedges, because I'm trying to like trying to figure out which bounce is really predicated for me, and because I get steep at times, and I'm really working on that coming from the inside out with my chips and working on that low runners or trying to stop it, make it hit little high flops or fades and cuts and draws into these from 40 yards, 50 yards out and in. And I feel like that's really where it takes so much, again, like you were saying, it takes so much pressure off hitting the green to where I almost get excited because I have a chance of making it or just easy pickup, and it's just like I'm out of there, you know? So
I've been really practicing like those basically like there's this place UGP I go to in Carmel in Carmel by the Sea next to our shop in Monterey, and they have play like the third hole at Spyglass on the simulator, and you can make the wind go 15 miles per hour any direction you want. So 15 miles per hour wind in the face, wind from left to right, right to left, or wind behind you. And so it's 110-yard shot downhill 110 yards. And then like the coach, the trainer guy that's in there with you, he'll be like, all right, we're going to do 15, 20 mile per hour wind going right to left, downhill 110 yards. What are you going to hit? It's like, well, damn, I'm going to have to hit a hold off cut, and I'm going to aim 5-10 foot right at the pin and cut hold off. Hold off means just keep holding it. Don't let it flip. And hold off, 110-yard shot, cut it into the wind, but the wind's going to go blow it back, and then it can hit the pin. So that's what's happening when, the wind's blowing this way. Now, when the wind blows this way, you got to do the direct opposite, right? Then you got to aim left of the pin and hit a low trap draw and draw it into the wind. Mm-hmm. Because if the wind's blowing left to right, 15, 20 miles per hour, and you hit side spin, slice wind,
good luck.
It's going to go like 100 yards right. You're going to lose the ball. So again, like I'm just working on like owning.
And is that a lob wedge you're using for the 110? Oh?
No, I'd take a little chippy 52 into the wind and all that. Yeah, like I could even hit a wedge. Like I could hit a fucking 9-iron. I could hit just a little chippy 9-iron, The harder I hit the ball, the more spin it has on it. So when you're playing in the wind, you don't want to hit it hard with a lot of spin because if it spins right and that wind catches it, it's a lost ball. You'd rather take a 9-iron and hit a little low draw chip, make it hit release on the green. So that's been a fun thing, and that whatever technology that is, it's insane. And then the wind behind you. So then when they put the 20 mile per hour wind behind you, 110 downhill, what do you do there?
So they hit a 70-yard, 60.
You try to hit it as high as you can, 70-yard shot as high as you can. Wind in the face, 20 miles per hour, 110 yard. You're hitting like a 9-iron, low draw. Because if it starts slicing, it's over. You know how when the wind's in your face real hard and you barely fucking miss, it just balloons out or it'll hook out. So that's it, basically. I'm just working on pitching and chipping and wedges because I find that the most like satisfying in the lust for glory.
That's where the artistry is. It's the artistry of the game.
Yeah.
I noticed you don't, everything else is tailor-made, but you got a Titleist putter. What's that about? You just putt better with it?
I mean, it was a weird situation when I got fitted to get, and I got gifted that and another putter. I went in there, it was like 3 hours long, and all this stuff, and they said, well, our machine is not broken. Our equipment is not broken, but you're weird. Because you've been in there for 3 hours and you had 100-something putts, and you're like 81% accuracy, which is like not realistic for. So I'm hoping you come back in here and it's like 65 or something like that makes more sense. So something's wrong with you probably because the machine works good. So I don't know. I felt like the Spider GT was more forgiving, and I actually felt like it was easy to putt, especially if I'm putting from far away here and there. But then that was more like, I heard Lee Trevino say something like, yo man, you're going to be more accurate from your putter, than you were with it chipping. depending on how good you putt. And I felt like that was an excuse for me to stop chipping. And I was like, nah, I got to get my chip right, you know. So when I started playing with the Circle T and the blade, felt like I was able to aim certain things. I was able to mess with things more. I was able to I was really able to visualize where I want the ball to go. And it was either really close to it or dead on it exactly. With the wedge, I'm kind of like, all right, well, it's forgiving. So I can mess up and whatever. And I don't want to have too much air at least on that part, because that's my best skill.
What kind of putter you got?
I got a Malbon putter. We're making our own putters, and I'm using a center shaft.
Is it the crazy tall one?
No.
Okay.
But it is a center shaft. It's like a, this shape, like a half circle, center shaft, mallet. Yeah. And it's, I love it. We got putters coming. We're working on putters and we're working on wedges. So I actually am learning a lot more of that bounce and all that stuff because we're making our wedges. But rather than me trying to figure it all out, I've been using my man, Jacob, Jesus of Golf, who's got one of like the nastiest short games ever. But
oh, man.
He's been testing the wedges for me. And, I just got a bunch of notes. I was about to bring them up and and say what he's talking about, but it's like such a techie thing.
Yeah, you get way too techie
thing, you know?
Gotta have some feel to it.
Putter, what am I doing? I'm putting, I'm taking there's a few things I'm working on with the putter. Basically, I use my feet as an example of how far I can take the putter back. So my right foot is where I stop the putter, and I always stop it shorter than I want to, which makes me accelerate through the putt. So like if my right foot's here and I'm putting, I hit through it, I don't want to come back here and decel, right? So you can use tees and put a tee, like if I have like a 6-foot putt, I'll put a tee like 6 behind the ball. And then you got to go like super short and hit it and top spin versus like big, high and decel putt. Like if you want to miss 6-foot putts, decel. That's how you can miss
It's weird. I saw George Lopez was trying to teach me how to putt about something. And I was like, man, I ain't listening to nobody. But he takes the ball back literally 2 inches.
Yeah, because he wants the ball to roll like a tire. He wants it to grip, top spin, grip, and roll.
Yeah.
And basically when it's going to the hole and you think you left it short, it's got 3 inches left, it keeps digging and goes in. But if you do a high decel putt with side spin, it goes right up to the hole. You think you made it, and then it like takes a right. You miss the putt. Got lame.
Again, man.
Top spin, draws, putter.
Have you guys ever chipped off a green, like a real legit, like you're on the green?
I do it all the time for practice. Big, high, floppy chips off the green with the bounce. And
no divot, right? Not fucking up the green.
No, hell no. The nicer the green, the more you don't take divots. When I started playing with Q, like, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago, this motherfucker couldn't putt. And Q chipped. He's really good at chipping, but he would chip all the way to the hole. So he wouldn't 2-putt, he would 2-chip. He'd literally chip all the way into the hole. He just chipped off the green. So yeah, the best way to practice, like, remember I said all that shit, the spoon and the knife.
Yeah.
And if you want to use the spoon, if you hit this part on the green, it won't cut the green.
Yeah.
If you hit this part on the green, it's going to cut the green and take a divot. So like if you want to learn how to use bounce, chip on a putting green.
We'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Long Drink, a Finnish drink.
And it definitely makes your drives go longer.
You can get yours today at www.longdrink.com.
Super refreshing.
All right, so I got a question for you guys, or I'll start off and then you guys tell me. Dream set, I'm going to talk you through the clubs that come to mind if I was going to put a whole set together. So I start off with the Greg Norman Cobra driver that Greg Norman used during his prime. Next, I'm gonna go with the Tor spoon, tailor-made bubble with the 3-wood. And then I'm gonna go the old what's the name of the little hybrids they used to have with the 2 blades on the bottom?
I don't even know.
This shit is so old. It's basically they used to make these hybrids that have these 2 like almost like little like you know, on a skateboard, those slide handrail things on the bottom.
Handrails?
Basically, I had like 2 handrails on the bottom of these little hybrids that TaylorMade used to make.
I don't even know.
So I go those 3. Set, I'll go with the those copper ping eye 2s, right? I used to have those back in the day, and they used to have these ping eyes, and they would have like orange dot, black dot, blue dot. So it would be basically based off of your shit, where like your clubs are longer, so you would need like the orange dot. And if you were stock, you'd be black dot. And if you were shorter, blue dot. And they had all these different dots. So that's the like pre-customized. You could get clubs that were closest to your body, you know, style or whatever. And then even like down to like the ping L wedge, like we all talked about the L wedges back in the day. That was the lob wedge, the L, and then just a standard old sand wedge with an S prior to the numbers and all that.
G for the gap too, huh?
Yeah, G S L was like the three wedges. And then all-time putter, I'd probably go ping answer 2, the one that Scotty jacked, the Newport. Another copper joint, or there's another name for it. They didn't call it copper. And so those copper ping irons, when I was a kid, I worked at a golf course at this place, Hell's Point Golf Course. And I used to clean members' clubs. Like at night, they'd say, "Yo, can you clean my clubs? I'm playing tomorrow." And they give you, $10, $20 or something, clean the clubs. But those copper shits, I would take a can of Coca-Cola or 2, pour it in a bucket, and lay all the copper clubs in the Coca-Cola overnight. And it would completely make them brand new again. It would like eat a layer of rust and erode all that shit off. Just the
it's crazy. What
Coca-Cola would eat the metal raw. And then I'd clean them joints. And those ping wood drivers, we used to re-sand the face, take the screws out, sand the face, take a saw and recut the grooves in it with a damn saw. Put the screws back in, take the strings off that would wrap around the back of the thing, then re-lacquer the whole thing with clear polyurethane spray paint type shit. You would have to put clear coat on it a couple times, and then take this like wire and re-ferrule it, like this part, re-ferrule the fucking thing, re-gripping. It was cool, man. I love golf clubs, like techie golf, but like, I worked at a golf course when I was 12 years old, and there was this old dude named Calvin who worked there. And Calvin was a master club builder, but a master club builder back then was someone who could like sand down a wooden driver and like almost re-purify it and make it perfect and bring it back to life, like a restoration type of. So that shows my age. I'm 47 and I've been playing for a long time.
I would say mine, Sim 2 driver, probably Sim 2 3-wood. My set would be pitch through 9 through probably 4 iron. Might be the Victory Reds Tigers, the first Nike blades he had. Then I would say wedges would be Vokey for sure. And I would probably say that 5.5 glow putter, that title is Scotty. He's all tailor-made.
Ben's just going to be like this.
This right here.
These right here. Man, right here.
I mean, what am I going to go off of? I had like 3-4 sets of clubs.
Well, we appreciate you all being here. This is the world famous Part 3 podcast. Stephen Malbon, J.R. Smith, been baller. See you in another city.